Alright, so this is going to be a quick heads up for anybody out there that cares about their constitutional rights, about their Second Amendment rights. I want to talk a little bit about Merrick Garland. If you don't know who he is, as of today, March 16th, 2016, he is Obama's nominee to fill the void on the Supreme Court left by the death of Justice Scalia. Now, I've heard this guy's name before, but it was never relevant, so I never did any research into him. But of course, today it is very relevant. It has the potential to affect us all if he actually makes it to the Supreme Court. So it's important to understand who this man is, what his background is, and what his political ideologies are. So I did a little bit of research, and I want to pass along just a few of the bullet points that I found that I find very interesting and I think are very important for you guys out there to understand who he is, what he represents, and whether or not this is somebody you even want on the Supreme Court. So essentially, the summary of kind of his life from birth to now is he was born and raised in Chicago. He went on to Princeton to become a lawyer and eventually found himself in Washington, D.C., where in the mid-90s, Bill Clinton nominated him for a circuit court position. Now, since then, he's gone on to become a Chief Justice, but that kind of sums up his career. He was raised up in the Chicago political atmosphere and then found his way throughout his career to the D.C. political atmosphere. He is, by all accounts, including his own, a left-wing Democrat, a liberal left-wing Democrat. Now, the far left consider him a moderate, but make no mistake, by anybody else's standards, except for the far socialist nutjob left, he is not a moderate. He is a liberal left-wing Democrat. The NRA has come out and said, yes, sure, he is a moderate by some standards, but make no mistake about it. He will fall on the anti-gun side of any gun control argument, period. So what can we expect if he makes it to the Supreme Court as that deciding voice? Well, we can certainly expect more attacks on our Second Amendment rights and probably several other rights as well, and we can be certain that Obamacare will never get struck down, at least not through the court system. We can definitely expect this man to be the typical left-wing liberal. Yes, he's kind of a moderate, but make no mistake about it, he will come after our gun rights if given the chance. That is what we can expect from Merrick Garland. So what we need to do is make sure that our senators understand we, the people, do not want to allow him to become the next Supreme Court justice. We demand that our senators block him with their dying breath if need be. Because make no mistake, sure, Hillary could be the next president. And maybe she could elect somebody potentially even worse. But we know with this man that he will be anti-gun and he will be a left-leaning voice on the Supreme Court, at least if we push him off. At this point, maybe we have a 50-50 chance of getting a Republican in office next year that will nominate somebody that won't be anti-gun. This is our duty. So call, write emails, write letters, it doesn't matter. Demand that your senators block Merrick Garland from becoming the next justice on the Supreme Court.